doesn't matter where you live, how much money you got, what school you went to, what color you are. I think it's all going to boil down to one thing one day, and that is how much service you give your fellow man.
Howard Curtis Jones, born one of 15 brothers and sisters in Wilson County, North Carolina. He, like many other young men and women, ventured north. Chance decreed that Jones would meet the founder of Opportunities Industrialization Centers, Dr. Leon Sullivan, in this church in Brooklyn, New York. The visionaire Howard Jones decided his hometown needed some rehabbing. He came home to Wilson. He saw his hometown folk in need of better health care, better education, training, and better jobs. Howard Jones accepted his spiritual call and went about the business of making it happen. With the help of some volunteers, he founded the Wilson OIC in the Mercer Hospital. Later, OIC moved to the Ferris office building. Then one day, a deal was made to convert this abandoned school building to Wilson OIC. Within these walls, Howard Jones, his staff, volunteers, and supporters continue to help change the face of Wilson and the lives of untold numbers of people every day.
When I hear that the OIC of Wilson, Howard, for your leadership, are going to be around, it makes me mighty proud, because you and I both know the work that needs to be done in the eastern part of the state, across the state, with human rights and inclusion issues.
He has always shared his ideas and successes with others. Some years ago, he brought to Wilson County the most recognized personality in the world, his good friend Muhammad Ali. Ali made visits to the schools, some of the local businesses, and helped to celebrate the proclaimed Muhammad Ali Day in Wilson County, North Carolina. Many know Howard Jones as a person to go to for answers to most questions. He takes charge of his commitments. He continues to engage state and local officials on important issues, particularly those affecting the citizens of Wilson County and surrounding areas.
Howard Jones decided a long time ago that he was going to use his time and his talents, in addition to his resources, to make a difference for other people. And he was going to convince a lot of folks to help him. He's done a good job. He's taken a building that others had abandoned with the help of funds and cajoling and encouraging, and I won't go much further than that, for people to invest their time and talents to make a difference in the lives of a lot of young people, as well as adults, who didn't have the same opportunity that a lot of others had.
Every 3 months, commodities arrive by several large trucks. The food is distributed by OIC staff and nearly 100 loyal volunteers. It is given to those who qualify to receive it. Sometimes in rain and inclement weather they come. An average of 2,500 households are represented by long lines that began starting early morning and continued throughout the day. The doors open at 8 o'clock a.m. The lines start forming at 6 o'clock. Jones says he will never forget seeing an elderly lady who was well into her 80s who had brought a little boy about 6 years old to help her carry the food home.
There was an old lady sitting there, y'all probably saw her, I know the staff did. She was sitting there, and she was sitting on the floor, on that little stoop there, and had like a poncho over her, and she looked kind of deformed. I said, she's sort of shaped funny. I said, how you doing? And she said she looked up, and she probably was 85 or 90 years old. And she raised up that bag, that tent, that poncho she had, and there was a little 6-year-old boy under there. Then she brought him to bring the food. But that probably will be with me.
In the spring of 1987, Howard Jones was called to the U.S. Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C., where he was honored at a special event.
The event was the National Thomas Jefferson Award. The U.S. Supreme Court, as it observes the bicentennial of the Constitution, was an appropriate setting for the 15th Annual Thomas Jefferson Awards. The 9 awardees were honored for their volunteerism that helped to enhance and inspire the lives of others. One of those receiving awards today was Howard Jones of Wilson. In a standing room only U.S. Supreme Court room, he was presented the coveted award by the National Institute for Public Service. The presenter was Roger Horchow.
And I have great honor today to award this to Howard Jones, this greatest public service award benefiting his local community.
They say from the day that you're born, your mind starts to work until you come to Supreme Court room and an audit such as this. I first would like to thank this great institution for sponsoring this affair. I think it's second to none. I want to thank my local sponsors in Durham, North Carolina for selecting me as their choice. And I would also want to thank the millions and millions of volunteers over this country who have given of themselves and their time to make this America what it ought to be.
Years ago, doctors gave Howard Jones just a few months to live. He'd been paralyzed with a blood clot on the brain.
You were a man who, at one time in your life, expected not to walk again. Do you think about that?
Excuse me. Well, I think about that. And I don't guess I can deal with that right now. Very touching.
Howard Jones shares this medallion with all volunteers.
Although I only have one, but I'd like to share this and cut it up in little pieces and send it all over this country.